ICD-10 JJ-10A, page 348, exercise 2 This is a level 2 exercise, and it reads like this.
Incomplete early abortion spontaneous.
Right, it's an incomplete early abortion and it's spontaneous, right? So we're going to count to 3, so you can pause the video and then give us the ICD-10 code for this condition, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, the answer is O03.4 and Z3A00, Z3A.00, okay? Those are the 2 correct codes, okay? If you got them, then congratulations, just go to the next video. If you didn't get them, let's give you a couple of tips. Okay, first tip.
Level 2 difficulty. There are 2 codes.
Yeah, this is categorized as level 2 by us because there are 2 codes. There's not just one code that you have to just go to the index, go to a tabular, and it's just one code. It's 2 codes, okay? Now, 2.
Start with abortion incomplete.
You have to find the first code, just start with abortion incomplete. 3.
No secondary effects, i.e.,
for example, right?
Yes. Infection, hemorrhage, embolism, etc., etc. For the abortion are given, so choose without complications.
Right. When you're checking in the tabular, there are some secondary effects given there that have special codes: infection, hemorrhage, embolism, etc. Right. But in this case, there's nothing in the text that tells you that there were secondary effects due to the abortion. So it's choose without complications, right? Because they don't tell you anything. So it must have been without complications. Okay. And the 4th tip is
the second code is for weeks of gestation, unspecified.
Right. Always you have to put the weeks of gestation. If they don't tell you, you have to choose an unspecified, right? Keep reading.
Any code within 000 through 09A has to have a second code for weeks of gestation.
See note.
Under Z3A, weeks of gestation.
Okay, so any code that you are coding that falls within this range has to have a second code for weeks of gestation. And if they don't give you, you just put unspecified, okay? So those are the tips. The answers now for the 2 codes is O03.4 and Z38.00. Those are the answers. And you have to give us the path. So we're going to count to 3 so you can pause the video and give us the path to these answers, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's do a summary of the whole problem. This is an incomplete early abortion and it's spontaneous. And there's 2 codes. The code 1 through the index is found like this.
First you go to index.
Go to the index.
Then you go to abortion.
You start with abortion.
Then you go to incomplete.
Incomplete, and in parentheses says
spontaneous.
Spontaneous. And what code do you find there?
003.4.
003.4. Now we're going to check this code in the tabular. So the code 1 through the tabular is checked like this.
First you go to tabular.
Go to a tabular.
Then you go to 003.
003, the 3 first characters, that's the rule. And what is that?
Spontaneous abortion.
Okay, now we're going to add one more character. 003.4. What is that?
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Without complications.
Without complications. We told you in the tips that there's no complications mentioned in the text, so this has to be without complications. That's why we have an equal sign there, right? And that's our first code. But now in the tips we told you that any code that falls within a range, which this one falls, needs a second code for weeks of gestation, right? So the code number 2 through the index is found like this.
First you go to index.
Index.
Then you go to pregnancy.
Pregnancy.
Then you go to weeks of gestation.
Weeks of gestation.
Then you go to not specified.
Not specified. It means they don't tell you. The doctor didn't know that. So, but there's a code for that. What is the code?
Z3A.00.
00, and we check this code in the tabular, the second code in the tabular. So the code 2 through the tabular is checked like this.
First you go to tabular.
Go to a tabular.
Then you go to Z3A.
You start with Z3A. What's that?
Weeks of gestation.
Okay, and then we read the note. What does the note say?
Any code within 000 through O9A has to have a second code for weeks of gestation.
Okay, so we go to 03A.0, which is unspecified, and one more step,
Z3A.00,
which is
not specified.
Not specified. Okay, so that's how you find the two codes. Okay, O0 3.4 and C38.00. And remember that the zero is represented with a circle with a like a forward slash crossing it, right? Just to differentiate them from the O. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching. Now you can visit our website